In a world that is filled with filters and masks, we want to give you an unfiltered experience. Welcome to Soté.
Yes, Salt of the Earth Podcast, a Christian podcast where we teach you how to apply the Word of God with wisdom into your everyday lives. If you're ready to take off the filters and learn how to be the salt of the earth, stay tuned to Soté. We are back! Welcome to the first episode of season 2 of Soté Podcast. So Temi,
Yes.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I feel amazing, actually.
That's good. That's
Feel
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. A little bit nervous. Not as nervous as the first one we did, but yeah, season 2 is back. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we've come a long way. I mean,
Yeah.
we had like quite a long break or pause, but it's for the best, right?
Yeah. Like you said earlier before we were filming, you're like, it's a refreshing time. Time for refreshment. So, like, a lot of people ask me, I don't know if they ask you, but
I don't
like,
know nobody like you. You're famous.
No, tell me.
Nobody knows.
But at this point, we're both famous, Like, Soté got our name out there with the grace of God. But, people do ask, like, how did you guys begin? Like, do you guys know each other before you started? Was it your idea? So many questions. So this episode is really just going to dive in on how Soté started. Why is the name Soté? What does it mean? What's the Bible verse all about? Because, you see it at the background all the time, but we never really talk about it. So let's get into it. Tell me.
Yeah, so to answer the question, did we know each other? Well, I knew you, but I don't know if you knew me,
Okay, he's exaggerating. Of course. I mean, then you gotta look into the definition of what does knowing somebody mean. Because I wouldn't say I know you. Like, I knew of you. I wouldn't say I know you. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's
After
fair.
now, I would say I know you.
Okay, that's fair. But I think, how did it start? It started with a vision that our pastor had.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so he had this vision of, getting the young adults in our church more involved, in spiritual things and serving God. And so he was like, God gave him this vision of the podcast. And that really is how it started. The vision was from our pastor.
Right. It was not us. Yeah. I mean, to begin with, it was God, if we're really being honest. And then, our pastor really pushed it on us and, like, gave us the creative freedom of, like, what we wanted to do with it. And so it was quite a long journey, honestly. Like, it wasn't like, we woke up and we're like, it's gonna be named Soté, we're gonna have this kind of set. Like, it was a lot. So like,
you guys don't even want to know the first couple of names we had.
No, because I was about to ask that. Let's get into it. You want to?
We had Crusade.
Yeah, so our pastor came with us. He was like, the name I thought of was Crusaders, but it's really up to y'all. Like, if you want to go with it, just let me know. And both of us were just like Crusaders, young adults.
Like we were going to conquer the whole but I mean, it's not to throw shade at.
No, it's not. It's not a bad name. Honestly, it's a great name for maybe just not our podcast, but something else. Yeah, for sure. And so the other big one that we had was Unfiltered. Like, we almost went with Unfiltered. Like, we really liked it. And so that's why you'll see some of our episodes are called Unfiltered something. Yeah. Because we really like that name. But let me tell you how we got to Soté. So do you remember the day I was just like, I found out this new song from this artist, like, he's a gospel artist called Limo Blaze, and he like makes like Afro beats type of music. And immediately when I heard his song Soté, I was like, Temi, this is it. This is the song. Yeah. Like, it all clicked after that. Like, and I really enjoy the song, so you should go check it out. But like, just the message in the song and like just the message of just being the salt of the earth, I was like, this is so perfect. And then it being Soté, like, it's so catchy. It's not Crusaders. Like, it'll have you and people like wonder, like, what does Soté mean? And that brings in like interest in everything. And so, like, when I gave it to Temi, he was like, but I still like Unfiltered. And so we really had to take some time to like pray on it and everything, and like, talk to our pastor as well, because if he didn't like it, we're stuck with Crusaders.
Well, to be fair, he did give us like the leeway, the authority to do whatever it is we want to do.
So yeah, he was very like on board with it once we told him and everything. And then I also just liked like the biblical aspect to it as well. It wasn't just a name like, oh, Soté, but it had like, you know, a deep meaning to it. And so that's why like our verses, you know, Matthew 5 and everything. Yeah. But, you know, tell me like, what does Soté mean? Like people probably still don't even know, even though it's Soté. Right there.
Oh, well, Soté means salt of the earth.
Yeah.
It's more than just, I guess, a catchy name for us. It's like you said, it's deeper than that, because it speaks of, you know, what is expected of us, or like the responsibility we have as Christians, right? As disciples of Christ, if I'm being exact. And so we wanted something that kind of represents who we are. I mean, we're not just any podcast. We're specifically like a Christian podcast trying to preach, you know, and teach the gospel to the best of our wisdom, and how not just to, I guess, know the gospel, but to apply it in your daily lives, which is why we speak on different topics, right? But yeah, Soté is salt of the earth for short, but I mean, it's deeper than that. It's a way of life.
Right. It's a whole lifestyle. Exactly. You know, and so that really embodies what we talk about here on the podcast. It's all about being the salt of the earth in various aspects of your life, and how to be bold about your faith as well. But yeah, like, Temi, it's been a great journey, and we're about to start a new season. I'm excited.
I am too.
And I'm excited to actually get to know you more than when we first started. That too. Yeah, but I'm excited about the new, you know, topics or line of topics that we have coming up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed also. And if you guys want to leave your comments, you know, your encouragement, a lot of you guys actually sent kind words the last season. You know, you guys encouraged us, said, thank you for this, and that really has helped us. That really was what kept us going sometimes. And please keep sending those, because, you know, that has helped us. Keep your prayers coming in too. I know during our hiatus too, many people were like, okay, so when's season 2 coming? It's here. So yeah, we're definitely back, and we're excited and ready for you all to see what God has in store. And so, well, thank you guys for your time again, and until next time,
stay tuned to SOTÈ.